Day 6 was spent in Alaska's capital city of Juneau and was an early start as our excursion began around 8:30 a.m. Juneau is a very walkable city near the port, which means you step off the ship right into the heart of shopping and dining. The day began quite foggy and overcast, but it cleared right up, giving us yet another day of sunny, beautiful weather.
We booked a 4-hour bus excursion through Disney at a cost of about $80 per person, and it included stops at Mendenhall Glacier, Macauley Salmon Hatchery, and the Alaska State History Museum. We had an entertaining and knowledgeable driver named Shade from Grand Rapids, Michigan, who offered up dad jokes as often as he did facts. The drive from downtown Juneau to the famous Mendenhall Glacier recreation area took about 20 minutes, and once we arrived, Shade gave us about 90 minutes to explore. The glacier and everything surrounding it is within a federally designated part of the country's largest national forest, Tongass National Forest. The glacier itself is around 13 miles long and carved out Mendenhall Lake in 1929 as it began to retreat, and it's continued to retreat almost 2 miles since then. The glacier is still on the move due to climate change and is expected to pull away from the lake entirely in the coming years. Now, we chose to do the 2-mile round trip hike to Nugget Falls before heading to the photo point and then stopping by the visitor center.
Where's the beach?
All right, we are almost to Nugget Falls. Beautiful Mendenhall Lake.
Oh, wow.
I think that's the mountain Shade was saying. It's called Big Thunder. Said it's very mild winters here in Juneau, but the snow accumulates there. Lots of avalanches. Sounds like thunder. There you go. Let's walk down right here to the beach. Check it out from down here. Wow. Wow, is that something else? Try and get a sense of how big it is. I following those people standing down there right under it. See how tiny they are? And again, this beautiful setting. Very nice and busy this morning. Lots of cruise ship folks in. Lots of day hikers. Wow. And the glacier is back to the left behind. You see just a little snippet poking out behind this ridge. But we are going to stand in awe of Nugget Falls for a little bit. Oh, wow. Some people climbing. Wow. I don't know that I've ever seen a waterfall this waterfallish.
Yeah.
This living up to its name. And again, you can see the little spit edge of the glacier there. Get Sean here. I mean, picture postcard. If you can hear me over the falls. Wow.
The water's so clear, too.
Nugget Falls is a 377-foot waterfall of glacial meltwater that runs off Nugget Glacier, down Mount Bullard, and into Mendenhall Lake. It has two drops, a 99-foot drop and this the lower, more powerful 278-foot tier.
Go stand over there.
Yeah, I will definitely.
Wow. That's so cool. If you can hear us over the falls.
Awesome.
Whoa. Whoa.
Amazing.
After hiking back to the scenic photo point where you can get a great view of both Nugget Falls and Mendenhall Glacier, we stopped by the visitor center with the 20 minutes we had left.
The Visitor Center was built in 1962 and has such a great mid century design, and it is not a National Park Service site, but rather a U.S. Forest Service site. They are co stewards of the whole area, along with the Central Council of Tlingit and Haida Indian tribes of Alaska. This visitor center was the first U.S. Forest Service visitor center ever built, and they made sure the building feels like it's part of the natural environment, and the views from it might be some of the best we saw all day.
Shade then drove us back towards downtown with a stop at the Macauley Salmon Hatchery, which is one in a system of 10 hatcheries in the area that specializes in different types of salmon. The one we visited hatches and releases three types of salmon: Chinook, Chum, and Coho. And this one hatchery releases up to 20 million fish per year. The salmon spawn between May and September, but the hatchery is open year round at a cost of $5 an adult during spawning season and by appointment only in off season.
This permanent fish ladder helps the salmon literally swim upstream and back to the exact location they were born in order to spawn. Salmon are pretty fascinating fishies. After birth, they leave freshwater streams for the Pacific Ocean, sometimes swimming over 1,000 miles to feed and mature, before, at about 3 years of age, returning to the exact part in the exact stream where they were hatched in order to spawn and, well, die. So every one of the fish returning here and using this ladder to make their way back to the Macaulay hatchery was born here just a few years back. Salmon predators who also hang out near the fish ladder this time of year include harbor seals. That day we saw two patrolling the fish ladder, and I finally got to see salmon leaping out of the water. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's so cute. Gonna make a video over here for a bit and see what we kind of capture. I want one of the same. Wow, there, jumping out of the water like that. Ah, look at that! Oh my goodness! They're trying to get into the ladder, aren't they?
Well, they're trying to get to the ladder.
You can visit the fish nursery where literally millions of baby fish, called fry, are learning to be fish. Some species of salmon stay in their natal streams for up to a year or more, so this building offers the perfect shady and safe place to grow. It wouldn't be part of a cruise excursion if it didn't have a gift shop. And in this one, they offered free coffee and samples of salmon jerky, which was honestly pretty tasty. They also have an impressive aquarium with local species, and they had two touch tanks. Overall, we thought the hatchery was informative, interactive, and a great way to spend a half hour while in Juneau.
Our last stop was the Alaska State History Museum and Archives. The museum takes up much of the octagonal building's first floor and includes several large, connected galleries with artifacts and exhibitions on Alaska's people, history, and art. The museum also includes a small cafe and, of course, a gift shop. One of the first things you notice when you enter the first main gallery is the large recreated Tlingit clan house made from hand-adzed cedar. Inside, Tlingit artifacts are displayed around a digital fire pit, including textiles, carvings, ceremonial masks, and jewelry. The focal point of the first main gallery is the early 20th century Thunderbird screen, which precisely documents the history of a certain Tlingit clan and is made from Sitka spruce and abalone shell. Traditional clothing items on display include parkas made from bird skin and otter pelts, and an entire whale harvesting suit made from seal skin.
Yeah, that's
They also have a collection of canoes and kayaks, including a 22-foot long Athabascan birch bark canoe built around 1850. Galleries progress somewhat chronologically, and the artifacts and exhibitions shift from a focus on Native peoples to more modern and distinctly American histories on early industries, early attempts at statehood, Alaska's role in the U.S. military, and finally Alaska becoming the 49th state in 1959. The museum overall felt a bit more commemorative than interpretive, but it was worth the visit, in our opinion. The museum also has a kids' playroom that includes a climbing apparatus shaped like a ship, arts and crafts, and hands on artifacts. And the last gallery is actually an art gallery focused on Alaskan artists with rotating thematic exhibits.
One last amazing thing about the Alaska State Museum is it's directly across the street from the original Tracy's Crab Shack. There is a newer location right by the ship berths, but we'd had to seek out the original for a better view and less crowds. We did hit it right at lunchtime and had to wait in line about 20 minutes to order.
Getting king crab while in Alaska, and even specifically at Tracy's in Juneau, is going to show up a lot as a must do when planning your Disney cruise, and it's going to be a pricey lunch no matter what. So, we wanted to show you the menu and what we ordered specifically. They recommend 1 pound crab per person, and every crab shack has a special combo. Tracy's includes their bisque, mini crab cakes, and steamed crab, but you don't quite get a pound. Buckets start at 3 pounds, which felt like too much crab and too much money, so we just ordered 2 pounds of red king crab, one order of their crab disc, and a side of fries plus one soda. And they do sell beer and wine. We also bought 2 of their specialty butters, bringing our grand total to just over $200.
Once you've ordered from the order shack, you can find communal seats under a large enclosed tent or grab a picnic table outside. Most folks were inside as it was a chilly day and it's right on the water, but we wanted to see all the action. The cook shack is fun to watch as they're cranking out freshly steamed crab from open to close. They ask for your name and where you're from when ordering so they can find you like this.
Sean from North Carolina.
saying you're going too far.
I just think looking at you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Can I get you guys anything else?
No, we just need time now.
Yeah, right away, yeah.
Thanks. All right, unwrap them.
Oh, look at this. Okay.
All right, famous crab disc from Tracy's Crab Shack in Juneau. That is so good.
Oh, yeah.
It's like somehow a little sweet,
Uh-huh.
but like, oh man, that is very good. Like, I'm not a biscuity kind of chowder, but I guess it's got the tomato. It is like a tomato base. It is really, really good. First bite had a huge hunk of crab in it. All right, I'm going with the garlic butter. Got it. That's crab. Bad boy. Open here.
Have to work at it, but it's worth it.
Whoa. All right, now we're going for the spicy butter. Spicy.
Mm-hmm. Got her
It's
dancing,
not
folks.
spicy though. I think I like
Not
the
spicy.
garlic.
If you don't like spice,
Yeah, be fine
not,
with it.
you'd still be fine. Yeah.
Get the biscuit if you don't like spicy.
We found 1 pound each to be the perfect amount, and the crab was sweet, meaty, and honestly worth the price for the whole experience. We will absolutely go back to Tracy's on our next visit to Juneau.
After filling up on crab, we walk the very short distance back to downtown. Juneau maintains a year-round population of about 30,000, and it is a U.S. capital city that is not accessible by car, as it's a de facto island city and requires boats or planes to enter and exit. If you visit Juneau in June, you're going to get more than 18 hours of daylight, while residents only see the sun for about 6 hours in December. Being part of the Tongass rainforest, Juneau's climate is actually quite mild, but being on the water makes it breezy, so the rule still applies. Dress in layers.
Things like bear-proof trash cans remind you wildlife is right outside everyone's front door in Alaska. But creature comforts like hip breweries and eateries are also lurking around many corners too. The Gris Bar is a favorite for locals and tourists alike. But the most famous and infamous watering hole in Juneau has to be the Red Dog Saloon.
With several inches of literal sawdust on the floor, this 19th century saloon is cramped, dark, loud, and yet somehow I felt comfortable and surprisingly not overwhelmed. It's kind of like a Wild West Cracker Barrel bar, known for its signature shot called the duck fart. It's reindeer sausage sandwiches, and having one of Wyatt Earp's guns in its lost and found. The piano player that day was sassy and funny and quirky, which is what I recommend as Alaska's state motto. Alaska, where everything and everyone is sassy, funny, and quirky. I ordered their Glacier margarita because I love margaritas and this particular shade of teal, but the nice young bartender laid the salt rim on thick and filled it to the top, so the drink was way too salty to actually enjoy.
Then we tried their signature shot, the duck fart, a layered shot consisting of Kahlua, Bailey's Irish Cream, and Crown Royal. The origins of the shot and its name are debated, but it's an unquestionably Alaskan drink and experience as you're told quack quack by the bartender, at which point you're supposed to knock it back and take the shot without stirring or sipping. We thought it was strong and tasty and another fun touristy experience with booze and a smattering of history.
On board time that day was 4:45 p.m. So on our way back to the ship, we popped into a couple of cute shops, including Caribou Crossing, which featured a nice selection of locally made jewelry, textiles, pottery, and other boutiquey souvenirs. Entertainment on night 6 was the second of 3 Broadway-style shows in the Walt Disney Theater on Deck 4 Forward. Frozen, a musical spectacular, is a retelling of the first Frozen movie using creative puppetry, amazing lighting and set design, and a powerhouse cast. The real star of the show for us was Olaf, both the puppet and the actor, who sounds just like Josh Gad and makes you forget he's physically even there.
Between the show and our 8:15 seating at Tiana's place, we tried our hand at another music trivia in the Azure Lounge. While we never won, we had loads of fun every night, and over the course of the week, we made some great friends. Second night at Tiana's place was a real Mardi Gras party from beginning to end, and our favorite rotational meal of the cruise.
The second night menu in Tiana's place is more focused on New Orleans cuisine and included traditional Cajun dishes like boudin fritters, shrimp and grits, and a pepper pot on the appetizer menu. Entree highlights included a roasted Creole half chicken and Big Daddy's prime rib, and a reminder that each menu has vegetarian options and a lighter menu of chicken, steak, or salmon if you do not see something on the specialty menus that speak to you.
This bread service was the best of the week and came with a whole loaf of herbed brioche. Soft and slightly sweet, with hints of dried rosemary, it was the most remarkable bread service we had, and was served with a roasted onion dip that complemented it perfectly. It was hard not to fill up on this bread service.
We started the meal with a classic shrimp and grits, Prince Naveen's Cajun charcuterie board, and the boudin fritters with a Cajun remoulade.
The charcuterie board included smoked pork shoulder, duck rillette, and a duck pastrami accompanied by stone mustard, pickles, and a Cajun egg. Everything was really well executed, with the duck dishes both being standouts.
I love boudin and have eaten it my whole life, but I only get down on boudin blanc or white boudin, and the fritters were made with boudin rouge or red boudin, meaning it had some of the pig's blood in it, and therefore it wasn't really for me. And you can also tell it wasn't really for Sean by the look on his face about now. My shrimp and grits were surprisingly great. They were creamy, cheesy grits and perfectly grilled shrimp with a slightly sweet barbecue drizzle. I mean, what's not to like?
I tried 2 entrees because I love both sea bass and prime rib. The sea bass was fishy and sort of a weird entree, as it came with shrimp jambalaya and a fennel slaw, and honestly was a miss. But Big Daddy's prime rib was tender, and the red wine sauce gave it a needed saltiness. It was another successful rotational dining steak.
I tried the Creole chicken over buttered Swiss chard with pecan bread pudding and chicken jus. Being a half chicken, you got both dark and white meat that was flavorful and not overcooked, while the savory bread pudding and spicy chard were perfect sides.
Dessert options included Tiana's beignets or a signature pecan tart, but we chose the d'auberge gâteau, the Bananas Foster's sundae, and Mama Odie's bread pudding. The white chocolate bread pudding had a caramel sauce and vanilla ice cream, and is a great way to use up leftover rolls from bread service, but a rather unremarkable dessert overall. The sundae included uncooked bananas, so it was a Bananas Foster in name only. And the d'auberge gâteau was a perfectly fine chocolate cake.
At the end of the meal, the entire service team broke into a real Mardi Gras parade, including our amazing serving team. Here you're going to see Ari and Kiko. And then here comes our really funny and super sweet head server, Galan. Just when we thought the parade and the evening was done, they came back around, and our dinner theater became very interactive very quickly, as Ari and Kiko had us join in the line. Overall, Tiana's place was our favorite of the rotational dining restaurants on the Wonder, as the food was a bit more flavorful and interesting than at Animator's Palette and Triton's, and the Mardi Gras night was also a whole lot of fun. As they say in New Orleans, we laissez les bon temps rouler all over the place, and the servers really seemed to enjoy this service, which made it even more fun.
With Tiana's affirmation still ringing in our ears, we turned in after another successful day on our Alaskan adventure, ready for our last stop in Ketchikan. Until next time.